Welcome to Solo Parent Strength, Navigating with Resilience, the podcast that celebrates the incredible strength and resilience of single parents. I'm your host, Nancy Kem, and I'm honored to join you on this journey of empowerment. In each episode, we'll dive into uplifting stories, offer practical advice, and connect you with valuable resources to support you in your solo parenting journey. Together, we'll rewrite the narrative of solo parenting and forge a community built on strength and empowerment. Let's dive in.
Hello again. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're listening from. It's your host, Nancy Kem, and I want to really talk about dating again. Navigating the dating world for a single parent. In this episode, we'll dive into what it's like to start dating again as a single parent. I know that it's not always easy to juggle between the roles of being a parent and a potential partner, at the same time working, at the same time trying to have a positive approach and towards it. Such can be rewarding sometimes. The journey of trying to date again can be rewarding. So as you join me on today's episode, I will be sharing my own experiences, my own ups and downs, and the lessons I've learned along the way. We'll talk about how to keep a sense of self while taking care of your little ones, and how you communicate with new people in your lives about your unique situation. Let's explore how you deal with common fears and judgment that single parents might be facing while dating. It might feel like uncharted territories for real because it's not something that you've been exposed to. Maybe you're a young single parent. You have gone into your cocoon or feeling like you're not worthy, but I just want to be able to explore some of the things as someone who has been a single parent for quite a minute now and share a little bit of what I know. And I know we're going to have more guests on the show who will share deeper conversations if they have been single for a long time. And that will be super nice for us to have a wealth of information from multiple speakers. The episode is going to be a heart-to-heart talk, aiming to give us some tips, share funny stories. It might be a little awkward, but hopefully to provide some encouragement for single parents who are ready to step back into the dating scene. So tune in as we navigate through the world of dating with love, patience, and a touch of humor, knowing that the right person will understand and appreciate the beauty of the complex world of single parenthood. As a solo parent, personally, I've learned really quick the do's and don'ts. The do's and don'ts in this world of dating. Personally, I don't like online dating, but it's like we live in a little cocoon nowadays. You don't go out, you don't go places. So online dating might be a nice place to start if you really want to get out there and start dating again. With the online dating, I do prefer you put your nice, create your online account, put your nice little picture on there. You can decide to have it by yourself. I don't prefer to share my kids' picture on my online dating site. I just choose to probably share myself if I had to really create one, which I've created multiple online dating accounts, and I never follow up. I just never follow up because I've set myself to think that I cannot I can't date someone I don't like, like a stranger. Like, it's crazy. I feel like online dating is a complete stranger, and that's weird because everybody is a stranger, right? But I feel like when I go online, it's like, oh my god, I have to deal with the whole world, or I have to deal with all these people that I don't even know coming at me, talking to me. I don't know if it's a serial killer. We have seen so many movies out here, but hey, I'm not trying to scare you, but I've seen, that's my thoughts. But I've seen a lot of my good friends who have gone out there, created profiles on dating sites, and they have gotten really good gentlemen or really good women, and they have married and been together for over 10 years, some of them 6 years, some of them they just started, and the relationship is mwah, amazing, you know. So there's a whole lot of, there's good side of everything, and there's a bad side of everything. But I have witnessed online dating being very successful from my friends, from the people that I know. So I can comfortably tell you that, hey, if you are not able to go out there and mingle, if you're not able to meet people, depending on how you work, depending on your schedules, create an online profile. You can meet somebody really good. Like, I've seen good stories. I'm not gonna lie to you. Really amazing stories about the online dating. And it has worked, and you can decide to either comment on there, you have kids, or you can decide to leave it blank. And then when you find someone who's interested in you and you talk to them for a little bit here and there, then you can bring your kid situation up. Or if you want to be honest from the beginning, so at least they know, you can have a section where you can add, hey, they ask you if you have kids, you can include the number of children you have. Please never lie to anyone that you don't have kids, or never hold that information from somebody. When you meet someone the first time, the first thing you need to tell them is about your children, so that they don't build a certain perception about you or a certain way of thinking about you. So always get to tell them the first time, so that at least they can process that. Some people don't like people who have kids, to be honest. So you want to be able to tell that person so that they don't fall in love with you or like you, and then they realize that you held some information about your children. On your first date, the first conversation, sharing your experience and navigating your first conversation, especially when you're going on a first date, you have to decide on how to bring up the topic of a single parent. Talk to this person for a little bit, gauge the conversation, see where the conversation is going. Most of the time, you learn a lot when you listen. There are people who tell you too much. Like, there are people who just expose themselves by communicating with you. When they're communicating with you, you can learn a whole lot about this person. So if you're meeting someone for the first time, just be an observer, be a listener, gauge the conversation, judge the conversation, see where the conversation is going, and then you can bring up the topic of, hey, if you feel comfortable, you can bring up the topic of, hey, I have kids, hey, whatever, I'm a single parent, and this is how I do it, and this is the time I have, and stuff like that. Another thing I would like to talk about on this particular situation is introducing your children. I'm going to be relating my lifestyle with other people's lifestyle and the things I've seen, just to summarize a few things, because I know we are all different and we all like to do things differently. But for me, one thing I've learned is not to introduce my children to someone that I'm just starting to date, because I don't know the direction of the relationship. And if I don't know where the relationship is going, I don't want my children's feelings to be attached to this person and then get hurt. So I try to keep my children away from any type of relationship that I know I'm starting, because I do not want my children to be emotionally attached and then get hurt if the relationship doesn't become fruitful. So if a relationship is progressing and I feel like I'm comfortable to introduce my children, then I'm going to be comfortable introducing my children. There are some things some of us have learned the hard way, and now that we have learned it the hard way, it's best if we share this information. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a time in my life that I introduced someone in with my children at a very young age, not knowing that the relationship wasn't really going anywhere, but I thought it was. And it did not go nowhere, and my children were so attached. My children were so mad at me for breaking up with this person, and I really felt deep down in me like I offended my children. My feelings were not valid at that point. And at some point, I had to stay with this person just to keep my children happy. So I'm sharing information here not because I've seen it from other people. Some of it has been my own life. So I'm going to be sharing my own life journey as I incorporate other people's journeys, so at least we can mend them together. And when you have this information, you can decide which way you want to go. You can decide either to introduce your children early or later in the relationship, whatever works for you. I just want you to have a broad spectrum of choices. um, Introducing your children is something that you really need to think about, because children, they love hard, and they are really looking for either a father figure or a mother figure. If you're a single mother, they're looking for a father figure, and if you're a single dad, they're just pretty much looking for a mother figure. So when you introduce them to someone, and most people, when they come in, they're coming in as a representative, they're not coming in as them. So they will bring about a character that will lie to kids and make kids fall in love with the person. And some of them are genuinely authentic, and the children might gravitate towards them and love them. So I'm just worried about the kids' emotions in this particular situation, because I've seen what it can do to children. So when these people have a representative and they pull your children in, now you're stuck with this person, or your children don't want this person to leave because they just got that father figure. Now they're loving the person. Now they got that mother figure. Now they're feeling warm, they're having warm food, warm meals, the house is warm. There's so many things that children are lacking, especially for single parents. My daughter cannot just jump up on me and make me do a whole lot of things, dragging her around. But a man can do all those things, and they can pick them up, throw them up in the sky. They love that. So if she finds somebody who can do that, she will really enjoy the person. But just protect your children's emotions, children's feelings, because it gets really bad. It gets really bad. Dealing with judgment. How do you deal with judgment, especially for when it comes to the attack of a single parent? Because most of the time, people think just because you're a single parent, you might have messed up, you might have made the mistake, maybe it's your fault. They don't understand the background of the relationship that caused you to become a single parent. So there's a whole lot of judgment that is being thrown on single parents in a way that they feel like it's your fault. So how do you deal with such kinds of judgment? Encountering judgment and misunderstanding from dates or people around you. How do you handle such situations? For me, I'll suggest you handle it with grace. I had this. This brings me to another topic that I posted something on my social media platform, and I was talking about, the expectations that women have, and when it comes to dating. And this guy just jumps out of nowhere and is like, "Oh, with those expectations, I don't think you'll ever find a man. You will be here 110 years still looking for a man." I'm like, yo, are we not supposed to have expectations in this place? So we should just pick anything and take anything? Just because you're over 30 or you're over 20, or just because you have children, you shouldn't have any expectations whatsoever about a man. That is wrong to me. I don't know about anybody else, but to me, I feel like that is really, really wrong. Anybody, any human being is still valuable as long as God has given you breath and you're still alive. You are valuable whether you're 60, whether you're 70, whether you're 90. So you should have expectations on what you want. Write your vision in plain. Write it in plain. So I see what you want. God wants you to write things in plain. If you don't write things, or you don't have expectations, you're just gonna get anything. And is that what you're looking for? I'm sure not, because I am not. So people will have judgment. People will have their own opinions. People want to take their own perspectives and their own opinions and put it on your head. Do not accept it, but gracefully and assertively know how to deal with such people or such situations. Finding time. How do you find time when you're juggling between work, juggling between parental duties, juggling between your own personal care, juggling between household work? Personally, I'm gonna talk on behalf of what I do and how I juggle between the dating world, work, parental responsibilities. Monday through Friday, of course, everybody, Monday through Friday, you're working morning to night. Maybe you do your cleaning on Saturdays. Maybe if you can get a babysitter, you can go out on a Saturday night, maybe a Friday night, maybe a Sunday night, depending on how you feel, depending on if you have a date or not. And you can have a daycare. Nowadays they have care now. You can bring a nanny to your house. A nanny will be there in your house for a couple of hours to take care of your young one, so you can go on a date, or maybe you can go somewhere to take care of yourself. Maybe you can take yourself on a date. So personally, that's how I balance my life. Monday through Fridays is just work and parental responsibilities. And then on weekends, then I can find time to either go on a date, maybe go see someone, or do something fun for myself. If I don't have a date, that is. I don't date every single weekend. Whenever I do, I try to put it on a weekend so I can do it on a weekend. But if you work on weekends, then you can try to put something in on a weekday so you can do something on a weekday. So juggling between that and finding time is something that is personal, because we all have different schedules and different responsibilities. So it all matters how you can figure something out that works with your time and with you. Listen to your children. That's another point. Pay attention to your children's feelings and their reactions towards your dating life. If you're sharing information to your children and they feel a certain way, be very cautious about things that children tell you, because children are very honest, and they will tell, and they have stronger intuition, because that's how God allowed them to be, so that they can be able to protect themselves. So listen to them and allow them to be involved in making decisions with you, especially when they know that they are going to be in your life with this particular other person. Listen to them, hear them out. So these real life scenarios will shed some light on the experiences of dating as a single parent, and I'm gonna keep on exploring more and more. I hope it doesn't make you feel a little awkward or have a tender moment of thinking that, hey, am I the only one in this? No, you are not the only one. There are so many people who are dealing with this situation, and I am so glad that you're here to hear my story and to hear other people's stories, because I'm going to be bringing guests on board who will be diving deeper and further in situations like this. So I wish you all the very best in your dating life, and I would love to get your response on what you think about this video right here. There's a poll at the bottom. There's a response button at the bottom. Kindly respond back. Let me know what you think, what you need, what you want to hear more when it comes to dating. And I'm not really done with dating. This is just part 1 of dating. There are multiple stuff on dating that I would like to share, and I cannot wait for you guys to come hear me out. Thank you. It was so nice talking to you. God bless. Mwah. Good night. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us. on this episode of Solo Parenting Strength. Remember, you are never alone in this journey. If today's episode resonated with you, please consider sharing it with other single parents who might find solace in our supportive community. Remember to subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your preferred podcast platform. Your feedback enables us to reach more single parents who may need this beacon of strength. Until next time, always remember, the strength you seek resides within you. Take care and keep thriving. Solo Parent Strength, Navigating with Resilience is produced by Single Parents Revival. For additional resources and community support, visit our website at www.singleparentsrevival.com. We're grateful to have you as part of our empowering community. Thank you for being here.